Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining Dr. Mack and myself here on the Mother's Board Inc. on this Friday, the 20th of February in the year 2026. And I am so grateful to be here with Dr. Mack. Dr. Mack, would you have words, please? Intro words.
Well, we are excited that you joined us, and we are thankful that you are allowing us to share our opinion about national issues and state issues and local issues, um, and just general reflect life in general. We would invite you as we go through to to make comments or to just let us know if there's a topic that we are not covering today that you would like for us to cover. We do realize that we have some one theme things coming up, like mental health, um, and Pastor Shirley likes to keep us updated on our physical health and the things that, and there's news in that area every week. But glad you're with us. And we're trying to sway you, but we do want to interest enough that you will look into the topics yourself. Thank you.
Yes. And dear God, we thank you for another day. Thank you for blessing us to live to see another day and to be able to come on here and share with each and every one. Thank you for a reasonable portion of health and strength. Thank you for a sound mind. Thank you, God. And as we sit before you to speak, we pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die, before we finish, we pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. So here we are one more time, and we know that you keep up with the things that are going on in the world. And we're just happy that you do just like we do. And there are so many things going on, and we are not going to pound all the negativity. You have enough of that when you turn your television on, when you open up your computer, when you look at your phone in the morning, whatever, your tablet, whatever. There's always something that'll try to burst your bubble. But because we are resilient people and we are informed and want to be informed, then we are just grateful that you're here and we're sharing what we have to share today. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. So, if Dr. Mack, if you're ready, we will go into our discussion today.
Okay,
And
if
so, our
all
first,
right, you
okay, okay.
go ahead and
First,
if you will read
first
it.
is First one is we're all saddened with the death of Reverend Jesse Jackson. Uh, in the president's tribute to the fallen civil rights leader, alarmed you most. Okay, in the in the president's tribute to the fallen civil rights leader, what effect do you think that it will have on history? Did it alarm you, whatever his comments were,
Well,
Dr.
I
Mack?
if you get a chance, take at the if you get a chance, take a look at the Huffington article on that. It's quite long. I wasn't alarmed because I have narrative, but I was dismayed. Usually in death, something really negative, to leave it out. We don't tend to highlight anything that would upset the family. Now I know Reverend was had lived a very long life. There's no need to say that he was your friend when he wasn't your friend. No need to say that you agreed on topics when you know you the reality was totally different. And then there's no need to if you're supposed to be doing a tribute to me, Pastor Shirley, you are not going to keep talking about yourself. You're not. You're going to try to remember some things that perhaps I did. So let's not say on things and we actually like each other. Let's not pit rights worker against civil worker. You know, say that he didn't present you where that ideology comes
Yep.
from somebody's speech.
Sad.
Yes, we said it, and we get better and better with it. At the end of school, didn't need him to prompt them. They could go, you know, by verse. I maybe I ain't. But these are adults. Hope that they remember that. And the person who said it, don't go and just again. I like what you said. Don't pick out the negatives. We're not here to pick out the negatives. We're not going to lie about who and what he was. You know, it's tribute to Black History Month. And if you get a chance, look at that in the up. And the one African American he has in the cabinet who's in charge of urban housing. But he went on to talk about all the other brands he has. Really don't like the misuse of the brand either. But in this case, just as you would do in any church situation, my grandma told all of us, everyone, if you can't say something good about the person, say nothing. And that might have been advice in the tribute. But it's like Julia said, I could berry season, not to praise season. So that just harmed me because some America I know now. But for those who don't know or don't have history, especially the civil rights lead them astray, and for history to record the actual, not the friend quote unquote tribute that was given.
Well, this Bible question, and it is what it is. Can a leopard change his spots? Can a zebra change his
Yeah.
stripes? And then there's this other phrase, that modern day phrase. It is what it is. And hey, I don't let myself get upset, or I get annoyed because of the things that are happening, but not to the point that it's unhealthy,
Yeah.
because we all have emotions and we're supposed to express those emotions in a healthy way. Because if we did not supposed to have emotions or express emotions and feelings and all of that, God wouldn't have built them in us. I'll put it like that. So anyway, what happens, we know the source, just like you said, Dr. Mack. We know the source. So please, people, stop letting yourself get upset and your heartbeat going up and your pulse going up and your head hurting and all that. Because, like Dr. Max said, this too shall pass. There's a Ecclesiastes tells us that there's a time and a
Yeah.
place for everything. There's a beginning and an end. And then also the scripture tells us that the evil man will pay for his ways. Whoever the evil man is, the evil woman, whoever's doing wrong, I would say the evildoer, the one that's doing wrong, will face the consequences, just like the ones who are doing right. So no, I'm not letting myself get upset. I turn and swipe and everything else I can do when I see certain things come on my screens. Not that I will get what I need in order to survive, but all that's unnecessary. And there is so much of it going on. So that's why we have to pick and choose the healthy things for us, staying abreast of the current affairs, but we still need to know how to, as Elder Davis would say, blow back the trash and take a drink of water. And then he also said, let it run off your back like water off a duck's back. And that's one of two of the things that I live by. So two of the things. Okay. Number two, here we go. A ninth oil tanker was seized by U.S. forces in the Indian Ocean after tracking the vessel from the Caribbean Sea, reportedly transporting oil from Venezuela to enemies of our country. And so we know just about right now, anybody, according to some people, are enemies of this country unless they can get something from them, like moolah or servitude or something like that. Talks appear to be breaking down hostile reactions between Israel and Iran. That's how Christian Amanpour said, pronounce it, Iran, appear to be healing up. Okay. Oh, no, 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 not healing. Excuse me, heating up. And several major European countries have thrown have shown little or no interest in joining the president's peace board. Do you believe that war seems imminent? Well, we know that this is what the aim is, to start war, not only an international war, world war, but a civil war. That is the aim. And we know that money comes from war. And all of those people that have those millions and billions of dollars are set to gain from this, while their families are being protected from going into the war and having a personal appearance, I'll put it like that, in the war zones. And while they're underground and other people on top of the ground, then, there's really no, I don't think there's anything. They said, what does the Bible say? The love of money is the root of all evil. And I believe that,
Mm-hmm.
because the
Oh,
more conflict,
well,
the more you using these weapons and all of these things, they bring money to the manufacturers. So all of this is imminent, but I don't know
yes.
whether God is going to allow this to happen or not. Okay, that's mine. Hello, John. Thank you so much for being here with us. All right, Dr. Mack.
Well, I agree with what you said. But what was it yesterday? The current administration, if their talks are not back up and run in 9 or 10 days, something was going to happen. Well, something is already happening. He's moved the Armada that was down near Venezuela. He's moved it in in that area. When I say the Armada, I'm talking about the George Bush. I'm talking about all the aircrafts and all the drones. I mean, it looks like we're preparing to go to war. Um, and no one is really talking to him or wanting to be part of the peace board, the board of peace, you know, because you're not really sure what he's going to do with it. Even the Pope against it. He said, we have a United
Right,
Nations.
right.
Why do we have a board of peace? Those countries develop Gaza, and those that don't, you're not going to enter coming in with you. And let's don't forget, he is the chairman of the board of peace.
Well,
and he's going to be getting 1 billion. That's what he will be getting. And the European countries, we're talking England's not with it. Come on. And they usually go hand in hand. But, you know, there's just soldiers died. We were in that region for too long to begin. So, how
something is going on with the sound. It's kind of like it's a twinging sound. And now I still can't hear you, Dr. Mack. Are you saying anything? Okay. She went out and she's going to come back in. So let me get ready for that. Something was going on with the sound. Okay, she's back. Okay, Dr. Mack.
that
Okay, I hear
was
you.
my, let's straighten.
Okay, okay. All right, now let's go to the next one. Okay, thank you everyone for being here with us. Sometimes that sound gives a twang, and so you know how electronics are. So we're going on to
Yes.
Governor Abbott
Okay.
says districts may
Oh,
lose daily attendance funding over anti-ICE walkouts. Do you agree with comments made by the ACLU stating that these actions would be unconstitutional? I agree with them because they're lawyers. They know what they're talking about. They're experts in the law. And so I agree with them because everything just about being done in this day and time by the people that they put in those powerful positions seem to be working, doing their own thing. Forget the Constitution. What's that? What you say that is? They're not even thinking about. I don't think they're thinking about the Constitution. They're just doing what they want to do as long as they can
right.
do it.
I agree.
But like you
And
say, this
it's,
too.
I'm
Hmm.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Uh, well,
I was just
when they
going to
said
repeat
it,
what you said.
you well, the when they said that they were going to districts for the time students walked out. Now I'm going to say this to you: you have a group of little rascals who walked out because it was a way to walk out and not have to go to algebra or geometry or computer day out, hour out. Who cares? But you had some who were sincere. They know what ICE is. They know how it's affecting their families and their and church. People in the church. They understand that. But the best you can do, I know he knew this, is to just give them an unexcused answer. For those kids who care about attendance, that hurts them. Those who just say, okay, I don't have to go to Miss So's class. She's a pain in the butt. But you all the unexcused abs, you cannot hold fund Fort Worth or Dallas or Terrell. You can't hold funding from them because it is unconstitutional. If it's led,
Hmm.
and this was something. Now the teachers, they signed a contract, and there's some things they can't do, but we were led a teacher in. These were student led. They were standing up for what they. If you don't allow them to start taking a stand now, you can't wait till they're 27 and say you should stand up. If it affects them now, they should take and
Hmm.
understand what is it?
Hmm.
Cause and effect, action, consequences. You're gonna miss Pollyanna's
That's
class,
right.
and you're gonna have an absence that you're gonna have to explain. to your parents. That's up to you and them. Governor, that's threat. I'm gonna take the money away if you don't do what I said, advocated. But I think it's wrong. And for those who did go out, because I have seen some things
Yeah. Know what happened to the sound? Okay, now I can hear you.
yeah,
So
he
you
was
still speaking, Dr. Mack?
wrong. Uh, you were right about the Constitution. You can't do that. Yes.
You're not supposed to be able to do it,
Can you hear me now?
but like we said, I hear you. Yes, yes. Uh, to people, like I said,
Hmm.
the Constitution doesn't mean anything to them because they feel like they are above the law, and then they want to, and with the children and the people protesting, uh, it depends on what side of the spectrum they are that these bullying and statements and these supposedly punishments are dealt out. Now, if it was something that the side that's bullying the people now was for, and they were walking out to support whatever the bully, is for, then it would be a
Yeah.
different situation. There would be rewards. So it just depends on the
Very
sideline.
true.
And I agree
Very
with the
true.
ACL, American Civil Liberties Union, and they're doing quite a lot to help people. And so, people, when you get a chance, I say it's your choice, but support them. Give them some donations, whatever you can give, they appreciate it. They really do because they're doing things that we have no idea of what they're working on. So we need them. We need them. Yes, we do. So this is terrible. But and then they're also threatening to investigate the teachers and trying
Oh,
to inflict some kind of a punishment on the teachers also if they
mhm.
feel like,
Yes.
or if they investigate and they come to the conclusion that the teachers have planned it or something like that. And so we know they can make up whatever they want to make
Right.
up, and they call it or whatever. But I am so anxious to say this. I watch my westerns. I watched plenty of them, and the Texan is one of them.
Yes.
And the Texan
Me too.
said, they were talking about the law said, but all law is not justice. And I said, oh my
Right.
goodness, that is so true. All law, just because they say it's a law, it's not justice. That was the first season, the second episode that he said that in on the Texan. So anyway, I want to get that out because I that is so. I watch these, and when there comes statements and things that I can use in my life and share, and that's one of them. They want to do all these executive orders and call them laws and all that, but all of these things are not just. So I want to say that. So the things that they're doing, they're unlawful. They are not. Supported by the Constitution of the United States. But what I'm saying, the Constitution of the United States, now to this group of people that are in the majority political positions, the Constitution is just something that's hanging up on the wall somewhere. And hey, they can
Well,
say,
I
we
remember
know
being,
from what they're doing. Okay, I'm finished. Okay,
well,
Dr. Matt.
I know during an interview, Kristen Welker asked the question to the current administrator, have you read the Constitution? And, all of them are given this little book, which is actually Constitution. And his response was, time ago, but me who will read it and tell me what it says. That's the wrong answer. That red flag right away. You need to read it, understand where your powers begin and where they end it out there to see if it works. That's not good. That's not good. It causes problems. Supreme Court, by the way, the most recent ruling this morning was against. You cannot sit there and impose tariffs. That should come through Congress. So they ruled against him. That's been the big thing. Okay. Now they have to figure out how to give the money back that's been collected. You know, so that one figure of $190 million. How you give that back? First of all, it shouldn't have been out there to begin with. We have three branches, and we've been talking about it for days. Three branches of government,
Yes.
and finally, one is speaking out.
Yes.
Yeah, one is actually speaking out. And you were right. Um, if it had been something that they approved of, the statement would never have been made by the governor. Um,
Nope.
he didn't approve it, so but he can't enforce it. Cannot.
Not
Okay,
supposed to be able to. But so much is
that's what I
going
should.
on to
That's what I should
yeah.
say.
Well, that's okay. We used to say you can't, and we used
It's
it used to be true. Oh yes, but this too, Dr. Mack, I'm gonna harp on that. Shall
it's
pass. Oh yes. So are you following the dartboards? Wait a minute.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Did I get the right thing? I think I missed Friendship West, didn't I?
yeah. I think you
Yes.
did.
What is your opinion regarding the controversy of having Friendship West as a polling place because Pastor Frederick Haynes III
Mhm.
is on the ballot? Well, of course, I have no objections.
I agree with you.
I have no
It's been
objections.
a polling place
Mhm.
for a number of years, and you've had those. Obviously, they considered it before they made it a polling place this time. He only has one vote, and any polling place you go to, you have persons outside before you go in. Sometimes they make you want to go back away from them. Everybody's trying to give you this little piece of paper, tell you to vote for this candidate. But he has only one
Mhm.
vote, and that is a central location for the area. And according to
Mhm.
one of the sources, it's one of the highest ranking ones. They bring the people who come
Right.
in to because they've done it for a number of years. But I have no objections.
Right.
I absolutely, and I know they meaning the people in power, consider where the polling places are established. And and
Right.
his vote counts for one. Now, if his parishioners want to vote for him, because you and I both know there's somebody sitting in there that said, "Oh, he shouldn't do this and wouldn't be that, won't have time for us." You know how that site
Mhm.
works around in the congregation. Jezebel effect. Um, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Not at all. And the problem is that they know that they have a great turnout
Hmm.
because the people can get there. They can get there. And if thousands of people make it on Sunday mornings and whenever they have worship there, then they know that thousands plus will make it there to vote like they always have been.
Yes.
And so that is a problem. And while we're on the polling places, I listened to one of Jasmine Crockett's uh, posts. I listened to her, and she said there's a lady that went to vote, and she gave the lady's name. And she said when the lady got there, they gave her a ballot, and she said, "Well, where is Jasmine's name? Her name is not on here." They had given her a Republican ballot. And so, evidently, I don't know why, but she had to vote Republican. So, I want to say this as Jasmine talked about when I watched her post, she said, when you get to the polling place, look at the ballot, make sure it's the party that you want to vote for. If it's not, get with the judge of that precinct, voting precinct, and tell them that you want the correct
Mhm.
ballot. And they are supposed to give you the correct ballot.
Yeah,
So make sure you, and she said, as long as you don't put it in that machine, they have to give you another ballot.
and that was an issue in the last election. There were persons who said they were given, not one or two, but several said they were given the wrong ballot. They're not,
Right.
supportive of that particular party. But that's such a good
Mhm.
reminder that you just shared. Because most of us take our
Yes.
ballot. First of all, I assume the people who were working the polls heard, I had to sign in, show ID. So I assume that because I'm telling you which one I want. So we just, I do. I just start reading it. But lately, you really have to pay attention to it because if you put it in the machine, it counts. Even though you didn't
That's it.
mean to, it still counts.
It still counts. And another thing, today is the deadline. After the hours today, whenever the time is set for this evening, today is the deadline for filing your application for mail-in
Balance.
vote. Yeah, if you want that mail-in ballot, you can go on the computer, have somebody go on the computer for you and to pull that up and let you fill it out, and then you have to print it off
Mm-hmm.
and then send it in by mail. But once you do it and email your request in, then you have 11 days for that ballot to get to the polling place. So just have somebody, if you want to mail your ballot in, not go down there and all the crowd and
Mm-hmm.
everything, you can do it today until this evening, the deadline is. And another thing, one thing that happened to me, you have to really be careful because I'm still not over that yet. Now, I'm not dying over it or anything like that, but it still bothers me when Elder Davis and I went to the poll to vote. I was helping him because that was the time that he had started, his illness was taking hold of him, really. But he was able to walk into the poll. He had already set for who he wanted to vote. And do you know one of those posters came over and took his ballot and cast it and put it in that machine? I have not gotten over that yet.
I'm sorry that happened.
Just
Shouldn't have happened.
marked what it should not have happened, but she did it. So people be aware. Don't let those people take your ballots and put them in that machine. If you don't want it, you have a right to contest it, protest it at the time, because once they put it in that
It's
machine,
over.
that's it.
It's over.
That's it. So I just want to say that to everybody. So be forewarned and be attentive to the surroundings there at the ballot, uh, the precinct if you're going to walk in. But don't forget that you can still today file for an application, or fill out an application for mail-in ballot. Okay, so I have done mine. Thanks be to God. Okay, so Dr. Mack, would you like to reiterate on
Oh
that?
no,
Anything?
we covered a lot of things to be aware of, and I think some of the other questions are related to voting that we have to go. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you for sharing
So,
that, though.
all right. Yes, that needs to be done. So, do you agree with the controversy regarding Jasmine Crockett's
Hmm.
campaign ad? And which one is that? I've researched some things today.
That
Which one in particular?
I'm looking at the one that they released during Super Bowl Sunday. It's the one with the
Okay.
little girl. and it sounded cute. Um, she Crockett comes off as a warrior, you know, but the controversy
Okay.
has to do with the rest of the question, whether it's man-made or AI generated.
AI.
Mm, yeah, but do you think there's something wrong with that?
AI generated ads?
Yeah, there's quite a
Not if they're approved by the one paying for it.
and this one was, and this one was, and, and they even get the company's name out there. It's out of state. Well, hey, again, I think she paid for. She first of all, she would not have agreed to have the ad out there if she didn't approve of it. It goes through several
Exactly.
steps. It goes through several steps. If you take a look at it, you can see what's in there frame by frame. Um, it takes up on the
Mhm.
controversy that she has with the current administration, and you have the ICE situation there, and then you have the fact that she's standing up and she's speaking, and it turns out this little girl, the little girl in there, is a young version of herself. And she's basically saying, hey, this is a warrior who will fight for you. You know, we have
Oh,
always been
yes.
good. Our arts have just been good, phenomenal. You get that message. You know, the first time you see it, you go, I'd like to see that again. And you get the message loud and clear. She has a whole new platform there in that ad, and it's done
Hmm.
in the superhero kind of mode, which catches your attention. And I
Right.
call it smart, just downright smart. And
Exactly.
those who have a problem with it, that's your problem. But I, if she felt strongly enough about it to use it, hey, no problem. I think it's great. I really do.
Right. Right. And like you say, it had to be approved.
Yes.
And then people, let me say something to the people. Do you know that AI would not be functional if human beings were not
Behind
behind
it.
it?
Yeah.
All of that has to be created and programmed by people. So, AI, we can call it, and they can do some wonderful things. But
Yes.
if it were not for the people, the programmers, computer experts,
Right.
and all those people, AI would not exist. And like you say, Dr. Mack, every where the T was crossed and every I was
Yeah.
dotted in that commercial because she knows
Right.
that what is it? You're condemned if you do, and you're
If
condemned
you
if you
don't.
don't.
And she did her
Yes.
mission, her purpose was to get your attention, to say, okay, he already leads the name recognition, you know, and
Mhm.
by them not allowing the late night show, Colbert, I think it is, you know,
Uh-huh.
gave her more name recognition, So come on, it's doing what it's supposed to do. And I applaud her
Ex-
for stepping out there and using it. It's not her fault that the
oh
others
yeah.
are not. She didn't go over and share with the telephone and say, hey, I'm going to use this. You might want to try it too. No, she used it to get her message out. So
Yes.
it's effective.
Yeah.
It's effective.
It's effect and like Mama said, believe you me, they're using a part of it too. So hey,
If not by now, they'll
hey,
come up with it soon. Don't blame them. They're gonna
yes,
do it.
what is it? Copycat,
Yes.
sit on the fence, trying to make a dollar out of 15
Yes.
cents. And do you remember President Obama was the first to use the internet for donations?
Yes.
Now, who's doing it now?
Oh, listen. Every time we put a post out there, even after the Black History one, he put a donation thing at the end. Please, please. And where's all this money going? I don't really care because I ain't gonna donate. But if you're innovative, I give you credit for being innovative. Yeah. I
Right,
think it's
right.
just sour grapes. You didn't think of it first.
Set your teeth on edge. Yes, and like Jasmine can say, "Oh, I stumped my toe. And they're going to find a big old press thing
Mhm.
about her stumping her toe.
Mhm.
Whatever she says, she can just look, and she might even just maybe anything she does is newsworthy worthy to all of these naysayers. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, these people are something else. But that's entertainment. Okay. What else, Dr. Mack, on
Oh,
that one?
that's it. But I would also call
Okay.
your attention to her print ads. Please notice how diverse they are. You know, it's a picture, it's a photograph, but she's got every ethnic group in this area in that ad. You know, I don't think she went
Mhm.
out and says, "Hey, you are Cherokee, so I need you here. You are, well, just did the Lunar New Year. I need you here. Ramadan just started. I need you here." No, I think she has supporters in all those different ethnic groups. I do. And then
Exactly.
again, she's being smart. She's not leaving anyone out. You know,
Right.
your vote counts. So yeah.
And that's the problem. The lady is on it.
Yeah, well,
That lady can outthink, outtalk anybody
mm,
up there.
yeah, I think.
And she, go
Oh
right
no,
ahead.
I would just say she just has made some critical enemies, but I think she'll go on. She'll go on.
Oh yes, oh
Mm.
yes, she will. And one of the polls that I read, she's slightly ahead of which one
Tell
is
her,
the one?
tell her.
No, no, the Republican. What's his name? It said she's slightly ahead of him so far. Oh man, what's his name? Because I saw him the other day. I said he needs to be at home. He needs
Are
to be
you
at the
talking about?
house. It's
Are you talking about John Carnan? Go on.
yes, I think that's who I'm talking about.
My
That fella
my
needs to be at the
my thing
house.
is Kim Paxton. You messed up TV
It
watching
was
for
one
weeks.
of them.
Weeks. You know,
It's one of
your
them.
behind was impeached. You know, and you should have been impeached. You know, but Democrats didn't control the Senate, and all the Republicans voted, and they didn't even let his mistress testify. You know, but come on, bro.
It could have been him. It was one of
Yeah,
them, John Cornyn or
either
Paxton,
one
that
should have
she's
been,
ahead
either one
of.
should have been a
They need to be at the house doing like me, what I'm doing right now.
rocking.
Because there are benefits to rocking. That's a good exercise. I do mine almost every day. That keeps my cardiovascular system in shape, keeps my legs in shape, and
So
abdomen, all of that good stuff. So anyway, fellas, get on to the house. Shoot. Okay. Are you impressed? Oh my goodness. This is fun, Dr. Mack. Are you following the dartboard's negotiations with the Dallas City Council? If you are, do you believe that they are fair for the ridership?
I think the
Hmm.
ridership, what's right for the ridership needs to come first. But I understand why the other cities saying, okay, we put the money in, we're not getting it out. But I also think that when you have to look at this, you can't make people do mass transit. I happen to like it because I don't like to do parallel parking and all the parking lots downtown. But um, but what they're trying to do now is break up the majority rule, and that meeting actually comes this afternoon, and give everybody a say. That's real fair. And we like in Texas, we like our cars. You know, it's just like in the westerns. You know, we had a horse. If we could have taken that horse in the house, we would have. But we like our
Mm-hmm.
cars, but we do need the mass transit because
Yes.
that's what we, as they expand, they keep expanding north and a
Mm-hmm.
little bit expansion of south. But if we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
need it, we're gonna have people. We're already jammed on the road. You know, jobs. Employers really look at the start time of their work because of transportation. You can lose some of these people, places have rules that if you're like 10 minutes or 15 minutes late, you can go home for the day because they're not gonna give you that day's work. But if you
Mhm.
like mass transit, and I've written it all over, um, I like the idea of sitting and reading, you know, and when I get downtown
Mhm.
to transfer station to the red line or whatever line I'm transferring to, hey, why would I want to drive out to Fair Park when I can take the green line and just walk across the street to the music hall? You know, and
Right.
that's actually the way I do the fair. So I don't have to deal with the parking or the
Yes.
football game. This is a big city.
Right.
I know we're Texas, but folks, the other part of the world has to move around when they come here. So I think it's fair,
That's right.
and I think it was the time for them to sort of divide the spoils a little bit better. You know, think in terms
Yeah.
of growth. That's what you should do.
Right. Progress,
Progress.
progress.
Thank you.
Consider consider everybody, and the thing about I like Dart too because and I miss it so much because all I had to do was go down to the zoo to that station down by the zoo, get on that red line, go all the way to Plano, and then get on a one of those transit
Shuttle bus.
vans. Yes, and it would take me all the way to Denison, Texas. It doesn't do that anymore.
Wow.
And I miss that so much. I miss it. I want them to bring that back because all I have to do is get on that train
Wow.
and go up there to and get on that bus, and it would take me. And it only cost me $1 extra.
Wow.
So for less than $3, I could go to Denison and back.
See, that's to me that was progress, you know. And I think
Yes.
about other people who don't have a car. You're either too young to buy one, or you have chosen just
Hmm.
not to buy one. Um, you know,
Hmm.
that serves a purpose. And then there's the handicapped persons who can call and make arrangements to go. Um, where they
Yes.
need to go. Um, this is a city, and we just have to start thinking more like a city. And all of these little towns around us are connected. They're
Hmm.
all connected.
Hmm. That's right. That's right. And so come on, Dart. Come on, Dart. All right, because they're hand over fist in money as it is. Okay. Are you impressed with the press conference for the new Dallas Cowboy defensive coordinator? Why or why not?
Oh,
Why not? I haven't listened to a documentary.
okay.
I
Well,
I I admit.
I'm just going to say that I am impressed. This guy starts talking about the art of war, and I'm like, oh my! And then his plan for the defense, he has his patterns worked out. He understands that there are going to be
Mhm.
multiple strategies that will be used. He's coming from the Philadelphia Eagles, and he seems to
Okay.
understand that he's not going to be playing the game. So whatever he has on his clipboard or his what do you call it, iPad, it doesn't matter. It's the players. His whole focus was the players over and over. You have to get the players to understand. And he has
Mhm.
two goals. One is to protect the quarterback, and I'm for that. Let's
Mhm.
the Louisiana
Mhm.
man get hurt again, you know. And the
Right.
other one is to just develop a scheme that can be used, a strategy that you have to have a core strategy. And I know they have to plan for particular teams
Mhm.
who have something that can combat that. But to me, I sort of liked him, and I thought to myself, you know what? This guy sounds like a warlord, you know. Not going to be the first one to cast doubt, but I sort of like, first of all, he's one of the youngest in the league. He's
Mhm.
34. So I think it'll be good. It's something that will be good if they give him time. And I think they will. That meaning the
Okay.
Cowboy organization.
Yes, yes. And one thing about it, he can have those great strategies and those great plans and all that. But hey, sometimes they turn out different. But thank you, sir, for having your plans already. It won't be his fault, huh?
No, he's not coming in asking, what do you want me to do? He's coming in with plans. This is what I plan to do. It's sort of like a wedding. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Because
Hold your peace.
this is what I'm going with. You see where we're coming from, you know, and
Uh-huh.
it's like making a pie, cheesecake. Oh, cheesecake on the brain today. Um, you put all the ingredients together and it turns out to be good. You leave one out or you try to cut down on another one, it doesn't taste as
Mhm.
well. Does not taste as well.
Right. Right. So anyway, if he came in with his strategy and
Mhm.
he initiates it,
Yeah,
that's as far as he can go. The rest is left up to the players.
absolutely.
And so, but we are going to get another. We will get another Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
Oh yes, we will.
it's just
Oh yes,
let's go back to Ecclesiastes. Our season is coming, but
that's right.
we may be standing in the way, and we may be at that point where we shouldn't harvest in the winter. I just smile
Nah.
all over because nobody harvests in the winter. There's nothing to harvest in the winter. But we can be foolish. We can be quite foolish, you know. But in the end, yeah,
Oh
it's coming.
yes,
But everyone needs to step
it's
back
coming.
and let each person play his part. You know, the GM should not be on the
Yep.
sideline trying to coach because if you were going to coach, you wouldn't have hired one. Let the man do his job, and you go back up there and eat the expensive food when you're back.
That's one of the major concerns right there. What you just talked about. And so, I remember I've heard people say, "Stay in your own lane."
Oh,
So many, so many people are crossing the line and having head-on collisions and all that kind of stuff. And I'm speaking like in business-wise now,
yes.
not talking lightly about
Oh
no,
no.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
But but we are going to have another Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, more than one. It's just a matter of time.
Yes.
Say Ecclesiastes, there's a time and a place for everything,
Everything. And
and it's coming back around.
mhm.
Everything, and that's one of the things I wanted to close on. Yeah, before we get into the other, uh, I want people to recognize the fact that our actions call for consequences. And while people are doing all they can to disrupt other people's lives because they feel that they have the power to do it, I want you to take note that anything we do is going to come back to us. If we did good, good is coming back to us. If we did bad or do bad, however I put it, it's
Mhm.
coming back. It's coming back. So I want these people who are doing all of these things out here in the world in general, wherever they are, just like my daughter said, Ice Cube coined this phrase: check yourself
Yes.
before you wreck yourself, because it's coming around and people don't understand. They might be up today and healthy in their right frame of mind, but in a split second, everything can change. And we could be at the mercy of someone that will be the what is entity or the avenue for part of this good or bad that we are going to reap to come back on us. And I'm not talking about heaven, I'm not talking about hell, because some of this stuff we're going to reap it while we're here, good or bad. And so I just want to forewarn these people that are out here doing all the hateful things that they feel they're grown enough and big enough to do. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man, woman, boy, or girl, whatever you do, you're going to reap it, okay? Whatever you sow
You shall
is
reap.
coming back to you.
You shall reap.
It's, and and whatever we sow and however we sow it is coming back the way we put it out. And I just want to tell people that, because while they're doing all this stuff and threatening people, bullying people, and all of this, that stuff is coming back around. It's coming. And so, and I look at myself and I try my best to do the right thing. I try, because I don't want to have to reap evil for evil that I've done. And so God has given me a second chance. And so I'm trying to make good with that. And so that's what I want to say to all these people out here in this whole wide world. Be careful of what you sow. All right.
All right.
That's what I want to say about that. And okay, the other thing is that I wanted us to name at least five things good. That's how I want to end it today. Five good non-political things that are happening in the world or have happened. And I think about the North Texas Food Bank. I checked on it, and they serve like over 160,000 children, just children alone, each year. And I checked to see if the donations are still coming in, that the donations are coming in, even though they can use more donations, but they are doing a wonderful, wonderful job. And then I was trying to pull it up because some cures have been made for certain diseases that have been around for years. And I wanted to share that, but I don't. I'm trying to get into my conversations with Alexa, but I haven't gotten into that. So there have been some cures developed for certain things that are going on in the world, so that can be stopped. Also, I was there's so much going on. So Dr. Mack, would you go ahead and I'm going to try to find my notes here.
Well, five good things that are happening. Well, I'm going to start with the Winter
Mm-hmm.
Olympics. I watched it for a long time because I've been able to live where there's a lot of snow, and then I've been able to live here, which we had 4 days of cold, and the rest has been above average or above average. So the Winter Olympics. With that though, it exposes me to other types of things that I wouldn't normally do. I love the vocabulary. I
Mm-hmm.
won't remember it as soon as it goes off. I would have forgotten the vocabulary until the next 4 years if I'm around to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one. It shows that there is something that will bring everyone together, and that's the games, the athletic games for those persons who live in the winter climates. And there are African Americans who are competing. Each year there are more, but as my best friend pointed out, that's one of those money sports. You have to have a lot of money to get that kind of coaching. Um, but I'm thinking, okay, yeah, things will change at some point. Um,
Mm-hmm.
with reference to I'm sorry. I thought about an article I just read where the commander in chief wants to give himself
Truly,
Congressional
here's your
Medal of
window.
Honor.
Sign off on the
You
Mother's
can't
Board
give
with no
yourself
graded
a
webcast.
Congressional Medal of Honor. That's not a good
Truly,
thing.
Did you say
here's your
you
reminder.
can't?
You,
Sign off
you,
on the Mother's Board
you
and
can't,
no graded
because
webcast.
it's set up. It was set up by President Kennedy, and it was set up by military. And it's very specific: Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force. Space Force is the last one, etc., etc. And you no, you surely you can't give yourself a Congressional Medal of Honor. You just can't. You shouldn't anyhow. But that's not a good.
Not supposed to. Huh?
No, you're not. I mean, come on. What he said because he went to Iraq in 2017. Well, a lot of people went. You know, come on. And you don't even have to have your pictures taken if you're handicapped. But let's see. Another good thing that happens, other than the innovations, um, the fact that even though we are being real great in creating all kinds of new uh, weapons and other types of ornaments, we are trying to do it in peace, not for personal gain, a foundational gain, but in peace.
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst things that happened was
Mm-hmm.
the U.S. aid um, organization was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did so much for the diseases that were coming this way. They were able to get in and start the study of them very early. Um, but we don't have that anymore because someone didn't like it or didn't understand all that was being done. Um, Another good thing that we have is that there seems to be um, um, a unifying consciousness of what is right and what is wrong. We're able, even if we don't say anything about it, we're beginning to say,
Mm-hmm.
that's not I do believe this. We just assume that all things are going to be good, decisions are going to be made for us. But no, we're having to pull it back and do that. And lastly,
Mm-hmm.
HBCUs are not being destroyed as those persons would like for them to be. Even if one is left standing, they have a place, and we have to think in terms of the little babies who are 2 and 3 right now. What will be their
Mm-hmm.
path into the HBCUs, and will they continue this into infinity? Those are
Mm-hmm.
my 5.
Oh, yes.
So I had to throw in
Wonderful, Dr. Mack.
bad ones in there.
That's okay. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. And those HBCUs, they are thriving because of the kind-hearted people who have
Yes,
the finances to contribute to those HBCUs.
the churches.
Okay, and they are protected. Uh-huh. I won't say too much of that because I know we're on international, the world wide web. So once people catch some certain people catch an idea and they think that they are being somehow slighted because they think they're the all powerful, they might try to go in and try to mess with that. So anyway, so some other things that was wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Mack. And these are the things that some of the things that are wonderful things that have happened. But I want to talk about the Pan African Bookstore in
Yes,
South Dallas. It's offering educational programs and community conversations. So look that up, the Pan African Connection Bookstore in South Dallas. And then we have other things going on in Dallas, but this is what I was wanting to talk about. Three of the more recent humanitarian efforts. The World Health Organization helped eliminate mother to child transmission of HIV in Brazil. Oh, that is
right.
wonderful.
Yes, it is.
And in Georgia, the country, I guess we call Georgia as a country, right? They became malaria free. How about that?
Yes,
Oh my goodness, see some good things are happening in this world. And the UN peacekeeping supported political transitions in several conflict countries. So there are some good things happening. So I'm just so happy that we're able to share that, Dr. Mack, even though we're informing people because all these other things are happening. And some people might not get that information, but through us. So I am so thankful for everybody that's joined us today. And please join us on next Friday. And Dr. Mack, your announcement, please.
um, we are doing the biblical files of Dr. Mack. We are doing the book of Ecclesiastics. I guess that's why I was quoting from it today because it's in my head, and I'm reading it again. You know, you have to read things sometimes with fresh eyes, and that this is what
Mm-hmm.
and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to share that. Um, we are celebrating Black History with, it's the month is running, but I've received notification of several churches and organizations that are celebrating African American Heritage Month or Black History Month. And don't just let it be for the
Mhm.
month, let it be for always. And just know, as Pastor Shirley says, this too shall pass.
Yes, 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 yes. And I repeated that because Dr. Max said, even though we've heard it before, but the way she says it, this too will pass. Thank you, Dr. Mack. Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Thank you, everybody. And remember, you are wonderful. You are somebody. As
Mhm.
Reverend Jackson said, you are somebody.
I
No matter what your situation is in life. He says this, Dr. Mack, you said, I am
am some.
somebody. And always, yes, remember that. And so we're praying for their family and for all of the bereft families, all of the people who are going through problems, trials, and tribulations. We are praying with them. And then an announcement on the 28th of this month, the fourth Saturday, is the 17th annual conference for the Center for African American Church History and Research, which is founded by evangelist Glenda Williams Goodson. So we will be at the Ideal Pentecostal Church beginning at 8 p.m. on that Saturday. And so you can uh, get your entries. Okay, you can get your tickets. You can contact me or go to Glenda Williams Goodson's page, and you can get that and get information on that. So it's a wonderful conference, and this year, the general board member, Bishop Elijah Hankerson III, is going to be the speaker for this year, and he's from Missouri, St. Louis, I believe he's from St. Louis. So if you stay tuned or tune in again, the announcement will be made that I will be interviewing Evangelist Goodson and Bishop Hankerson if their schedules
Permit.
permit, they click with each other. So just keep watch for that. And so, Dr. Mack, would you like to give us our ending and our today, please?
May the Lord bless and keep you as you travel on your way. And remember, the thing that you want for yourself are also the things that others want for themselves. God's plan includes that we do it correctly. Thank you for joining us
Mhm.
today.